Hello, everyone, and welcome to a late night Friday, Fast Friday, We Live Fantasy breakdown of the Gander Outdoor Truck Series and Xfinity Series at Kansas Motor Speedway. I like these. I like this slate a lot. Pricing's a little wonky for me, but I like it a lot. We found some stuff, dug up some dirt, found the core plays, which we really like this week, and I'm excited for it. How about you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree. The pricing is a little bit strange, but you know what? That doesn't mean we can't make money.
Oh,
So yeah,
especially in Xfinity.
yeah. There's really not much picks down low, which is interesting. So yeah, I mean I'm excited to see how it goes. I think we got some good plays. Found some value down low, and we'll see what we can do with it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the winning lineup in both of these because I feel like we're all over it. I feel like we're pretty darn close. Um, Pretty interesting, especially as I was building in the quarter jukebox and 50-cent lobbies. I was finding some juicy ones. So let's get right in. Parker Kligerman leads the price this week is all the way at the top at $11,100. He is starting 35th. Has a pretty good average finish of the races that he has ran this year. Um, Starting 35th, I mean, I see him 10th, and that's a ton of points. And that's a great finish for that team. And it's a ton of place differential, ton of points. I mean, thoughts? Are you putting him in everything? Where are you at with Parker this week?
Yeah, unfortunately, I gotta eat the chalk that is. Um, I mean, him and that team have been getting better this year. They really have. As the racings went on, they've worked on their program. Obviously, the good finishes have helped. They got a good notebook going on. Kligerman has seemed to run clean races and not screw up too often. We can say
Yeah.
he the last race that has multiple grooves where you're in the throttle a lot that he ran was Michigan, and he did excellent there. Um, he didn't run here earlier this year at Kansas, so we don't have notes on that, unfortunately. But I think starting 35th at 11-1, like you said, 10th, even if he finishes like 7th or 10th or whatever, it's going to be worth the money.
Yeah, I mean, if I were to put a,
So, yeah, unfortunately, I'm all in on that. Almost all in. What's that?
I said it lagged out a little bit there, so I'm sorry. I thought you stopped talking. If he finishes 10th, I would, if I was doing projections, that's like 55, 59 points. So, you know, could produce his value. And imagine if he finishes higher than that. The sky's the limit there.
Right. Right. So, and God forbid he gets out front and leads some laps on strategy or something.
Could you imagine? So yeah, I like them too. I don't see why not. Just realize if you click 11,100, you're right down to $7,700. So you pay the price. But if you get it right, he'll win you a lobby. So next on the
So,
list seems to be the king of the mile and a halfs. Been really good on mile and a halfs, and starting eighth is super juicy. Austin Hill. Um, every interview he does, he's super confident about the cars and Hattori Racing, and that's a championship team, and
that
he's out
is.
there getting her done. So 10,700. If you were to fade that Parker Kligerman, just like the Almendinger and stuff that we've done in the past, you just start this lobby right there with Austin Hill um, at 10,700, and that's a pretty good, solid pick this week. Top five truck.
Yeah, absolutely. And you look at the stats, and he really across the board is insane at these type of tracks, especially the progressive banking tracks and the ones that have multiple grooves, and where you have to rim ride. I mean, he's got no problem getting up there against the fence. He's proved that at Vegas. He's proved that here. He's proved that at Homestead. He's fast. He's led laps at all those racetracks this year. He won earlier this year here. He won at Vegas. Um, yeah, he's going to be probably the fourth most owned person I have.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, that makes me feel better because I've been paying up for that. And then That's a steep price tag for the guy underneath him in the 18 Safe Flight truck, Christian Eckes. Starting 14th. You know, we've seen him run well here, especially when the boss is in the race. He tries to go up there and compete with him on these mile-and-a-half tracks, and he's done it. It's just a steep price tag to pay for a guy who could finish 10th. Like you mentioned in your article, you know, he could hit the wall and finish right where he's at. I'm really on the fence with Eckes, and I haven't gravitated there too much because I've been going Kligerman and Hill and Moffatt, Smith, and kind of riding that GMS train. If you had to put a number on it just off the top of your head, how many Eckeses are you at right now?
I probably got about 5% Eckes.
Okay, just in case.
Just in case.
He gets up there and wants to get funny.
Right. The only way he made it in there was just pairing with Austin Hill stack. And actually, I did probably make one or two with him because I took Kligerman out, so I was just trying to get a little place differential because of Kligerman not being in my lineup. So I got probably about 5%, and I'm almost upset I have that much. So.
Okay, well then we get a freight train of GMS trucks. Personally, I've made a lot of lineups just bang, bang, bang right here with these three guys. They could be starting 1, 2, 3 for all I care this week. I love playing GMS trucks. I have so much confidence in lineups with them in it because they are just so pure and they're unloading off the truck good. I mean, imagine if they had practice, they would be just so dialed in. Mile-and-a-half tracks Kentucky is what a lobby that we took down where we had GMS trucks. And it seems like out of these three guys, Sheldon Creed is always the lowest owned. Once Zane Smith got popular.
Exactly. When people finally caught on.
Yeah. It seems like Creed's been kind of lagging behind. I really like Creed. I love Moffatt. The thing with Moffatt now, after witnessing it week in, is it seems like he has a really good truck, but he never has the best truck. You know, that's what I've noticed. I want him to win so bad. He deserves to win.
Absolutely.
He's such a good driver. It's coming. It's definitely coming. And Zane Smith, I love Zane Smith so much. You know that. I've been riding him all year long. And that's why this like 3 stack here just felt so good. Just bang, bang, bang. Your thoughts on that GMS train right there?
Yeah, I can't have too much Moffatt. The reason being is because I think I went pretty heavy on him earlier in the year when we were here. And he just absolutely shit the bed. He didn't put up the points he needed to put up. He just ran in the middle of the pack all day. Like once he lost the track position, he couldn't pass. He like literally could not pass. Like I saw Austin Hill send it to the high side and go by 15 trucks in 3 laps, and Brett Moffatt was still riding the bottom, just hanging out behind people. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? So obviously, one, he didn't have the truck or didn't have the confidence to run the top, and I can't get behind that. I have a few, again, like 5% or something like that. I really love Smith and Creed.
Me too. They're so good too.
I mean, I have actually lineups starting with Smith and Creed. Like, there's a couple lineups I made to get away from the Austin Hill and Kligerman, and I started with Smith Creed. Yeah. And I believe I grabbed the Gilliland right after that. So, I mean, it's there. Zane Smith is going to lead some laps. He's going to have fastest laps. He's going to finish top 10. You should probably have him. Sheldon Creed. Like you said, going to be the lowest owned one probably up here because he always is, and he can win the race. So you better have some.
Yeah.
You better have some.
And you talk about fast laps and lead laps. It's a beautiful thing. It really is good. And you know the trucks are good. And I mean, just looking at Draftkings, if you're building lineups on your phone, you just look too. It's Brett Moffatt average 41 points per race. 13 top 10s. Zane Smith, 35.4, 10 top 10s. Creed, 37.5, 9 top 10s. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Besides Austin Hill up top, I mean, these guys are the real value, right around 10,000. I mean, I know Parker hasn't ran the whole year, but if he did run the whole year, he wouldn't be starting here.
Right.
So, they're really good values here. So then getting into the mid nines is a couple of Thor Sport trucks, starting with Johnny Sauter. I mean, I'm speechless on Johnny Sauter. I'm done trying to pretend that I know what Johnny Sauter is going to do. I mean, he's either going to finish top 5 or 30th. I think that's the true justification of Johnny Sauter.
Yeah, and that's been the way his whole year has gone. Whether it's him screwing up on pit road or them leaving the pit box with a fucking wrench in the back of the truck or just fencing the thing. He is just
So
he must be hanging out with Johnny Benson. I didn't know they were friends like that, but they must be friends.
Oh man, they must be. They must be.
I mean, starting 13th again. I probably got there a few times just in like a rundown, but I'm not going crazy.
So there has been some silver lining for Johnny. 11th, 10th, and 10th. So there has been some sort of consistency there, but that doesn't do it. That doesn't do it for you.
Yeah, he doesn't get you the points then.
That doesn't do it for you. Enfinger has proven that he's pretty damn good truck driver. Yep. When everything works out and when everything is good on the truck, he's kind of hosed us a few times in the past couple of races. But Enfinger's a guy that if you want a great pivot play, and we've said it in these videos before, and I'll say it again, tracks that he can run pretty much wide open at, he does pretty good at.
He does. He's able to carry speed and for the duration of the race.
Yeah,
take a few stabs. Don't get crazy, though. I mean, starting sixth.
Yes, he's going to be severely overlooked right in that sandwich of Sauter and Gilliland, too.
Yep.
So, great pivot play. Just like another guy down here that we'll get to. And speaking of Todd Gilliland, in your write-up, you really liked Mr. Gilliland. He led some laps earlier. Seems like a good track for him. And the truck's way better than 17th. He's way better than 17th.
Absolutely.
Smash spot. Green light, all systems go. You got to have some Gilliland.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do. I'm all covered on Gilliland.
Good.
I kind of like the next one here, Crafton. He's a play that's going to get overlooked again, and I'm there.
At a supreme value for a multi-time champion coming to Kansas, where he's proved time and time again over. I'm not talking recent years. I'm talking the past decade. Okay, of running.
Well, he won earlier this year.
Trucks at Kansas. He's gonna be there, and he always, ever since he hosed me, when he passed Zane Smith, when I was first and third, and when he passed Zane Smith, I was just like, he just crushed me. I'm just like, how do I not have Crafton in this lineup? Because I looked and I could have had him anywhere right there. And I was heartbroken, and I promised myself to never doubt Matt Crafton, and he's won on dirt, and I totally doubted him there too.
Yep.
But that's another story.
Yep. Really does.
Yeah. If he can lead laps, he will definitely maximize his value. But being at $9,000 for Matt Crafton, that's a good pick. It's not flashy. It's not going to feel good clicking it, but there's no way he runs outside of the top 10, and then he'll probably wind up in the top 5, like you said in your article. So
yeah, I mean, I have to take him every week because the few times that I have taken him, it has paid off. He's either won the race or he was in the winning lineup, meaning I won the lobby. So I I will always continue to take Matt Crafton, and this is definitely one of the weeks where it makes sense to take him regardless, not just because I am always going to take him. So
Right.
I would take a few more stabs than a few.
I like it. I like it. Speaking of stabs, Chandler Smith.
I've got probably 3.
Damn good truck. Damn good setup.
Ugh.
Driver needs to prove it to you. Driver needs to prove it to me. I think I'm not putting a guarantee on it, but I bet Ben Rhodes beats him back to the line the first lap. That's just my gut. And then I'm kind of betting on who's going to get up there and pass Ben Rhodes.
Yeah, I mean, or Austin Hill from 8th around the top side, just everyone and gets. I'm just telling you. Right?
Yeah, listen. I hope so, and I know he can do it. But Ben Rhodes is a guy who is always overlooked, especially starting second. I know I might sound hypocritical talking bad about Chandler Smith, but going Ben Rhodes, but that's because Ben Rhodes has been, Ben Rhodes, when you look at him, he still looks so young, but the dude has been there, done that, and has been doing it. The truck always looks good, and even when it's bad, it seems like he's hanging on somewhere. Buyer beware.
It's a very risky play. Yes.
Very risky play. Because he can finish 11th, 12th. He can do it. And talk about a guy who can take down a wall.
Yeah.
He's pretty good at that too. This whole section right here from 8,400 to 9,000, with guys paying up and trying to find something a little bit lower than this might be overlooked. And if you can get it and you're in this area and you want to be different, Tyler Ankram's definitely a good choice.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Talk about a GMS truck, and a really good driver. He's
I
good.
I do believe he failed to finish both Kansas races earlier this year, just as a note.
Okay.
So, which is kind of scary to me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, he's really good, and he's a guy who can get up on the wheel, and he's got a lot of single-digit finishes this year. So he can definitely do it. Our boy Kraus at 8,200, starting 12th. Every race I watch in the truck series, that 19 truck sneaks up there. And for that team to be doing what they're doing and as well as they're doing shows you how good Derek Kraus is. And he can run 1.5 mile tracks really well. Did well at Kentucky. Did well at Vegas. I like Derek Kraus this week a whole lot, and I'm a Derek Kraus truther. And thank God he's starting 12th because it makes it a lot easier to click it than when he was starting 7th and stuff like that.
And as I said in my article, man, I was really hoping for like a 17 in front of him or better.
Yeah.
Or worse, I would say. It'd be real nice to take him at like 17th.
Yeah.
Which makes Tanner Gray a perfect pick.
Yeah, that dude balled out at Vegas.
And here.
He's really, really good. And he is really exceeding expectations. And it's great to see. It's great to see someone up there getting it up. And I hope he for some reason, I'm not sure of what his status is for next year, but I hope he gets another year because I think he'd be really, really good coming back to these tracks again and getting some practice in next year too, based off this year's notes. Because you're talking about a guy who's green,
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
there's no way he doesn't finish in the top 10.
He ran so good at Bristol. I loved it. Yeah, top 10 for sure. 8,000, super good value, great place differential, and definitely top 10 potential. Top 5 potential if things get caught right and he's in the right situation.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Trevor Bain in the Nice Motorsports starting 11th. I've really not clicked Bain at all. Just to be honest with you and anyone who's watching here, I haven't clicked Bain. And that kind of scares me, but that's kind of a stake I'm willing to die on. If you click Kligerman, this puts you in this range where you can kind of run some of these guys at Kraus, Gray, Bain, stuff like that. But I haven't really gotten there with Trevor Bain. Have you?
I'm counting. I've got 2 Bain out of 76 lineups.
Okay. So
Because you got to always. I lied. 3. I got 3.
Trevor Bain's average finish in his truck races are 15.75. He's the past 2 races have been really, really good. He's definitely raced Kansas a bunch in his life. I could he get up there and mix it up? Yeah, I personally, I haven't gotten there yet. I wouldn't be mad if he did, just based on his experience and his time running in the Cup Series and Xfinity Series and all the wins that he does have. But I just haven't gotten there.
I feel like your money is better spent on the people around him, such as Tanner Gray, Timothy Peters, or Ryan Truex.
Yeah, speaking of a veteran and a guy who's been there, done that, I remember the Red Horse Racing days. I remember him running before that. What a good guy. What a good champion. Great plate racer. Talk about a guy who's been there, done that. He really has been.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of talked about it, though. The only concern would be rust, but you know what? There's been people that come off the shelf this year and go out there and finish top 10. So
Yeah, and I think, Greg Biffle, guys like that.
Yeah.
And a thing about Timothy Peters too is I think he's jumped in a truck before and did a one-off and did really well. I couldn't tell you where he finished or what he did, but I remember watching it. I was just like, damn, guy's really good. Ryan Truex is definitely due. That poor guy. He's definitely due, and he's in a good truck that can do it. He's bound to be up there somewhere. He's really good, and he's had a lot of bad luck and circumstances, and I really think he's out there trying to finish the race and run all the laps. So I don't think he's pushing it and making the bonsai moves that maybe some other people are doing on restarts. But he's definitely due, and with the 2 in front of his starting spot, I've definitely found him in a few lineups.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. From you look at his finishes, especially at tracks similar to this, I mean, he's got a 13th, and a 12th.
Yeah.
So, starting 21st, give me something like that, and Daddy's happy.
Yeah, for sure. So, right below them at 7,400, Rafael Lassard. Here's my breakdown on Rafael Lassard, and I'll let you go with yours.
I know where this is going.
You have a 50-50 chance with Rafael Lassard. Okay, that's what I've deducted from my lineups and my love for Rafael Lassard. You have a 50-50 chance of him staying at his starting spot or finishing worse than that. So he's either going to finish 10th for you or he's going to be getting you negative points. So I cannot recommend Rafael Lassard this week. We'll wait till next week when he starts like 13th or 14th and we'll score some points.
That's impressive. I'm surprised you said that.
Yeah, can't do it. Not this week.
I
have too much knowledge on it now.
Yeah, I agree.
So here's that point where it starts getting really, really sketchy on this slate breakdown, because right from Rafael Lassard, who's in a KBM truck, which is part of that 50% of finishing 10th or better, or 10th or like right around 10th. And I'm going to preface this too. Down here, you can find people who are running in good equipment, which equals value because of them being so far down here. And I don't see it in Cram.
Nope.
I don't see it in Bone. I am definitely going to be taking shots at Haley Deegan. Um, you have to, just because of where she's starting.
You have to.
But here's the deal with Haley Deegan. She is a take if forget she's a female. I don't care if she's a female or a male. Let's just talk about her as a driver. She is really good. She wins on dirt. She drives off-road vehicles. She drives late models. She drives the K&N series. She drives ARCA. She deserves this truck ride. She has great sponsors and great backing behind her, and she can definitely wreck. Okay, this is going to be a big test with Aero, and if she does start running like 15th, 14th, guys are going to start, using all the tricks on her, and she could get Aero loose. She could get Aero tight behind people, never feeling those feelings that she's had in these trucks before. But hopefully she just keeps it patient, and if she finishes 20th, at this price, I mean, you got to think, I mean, if she's ran 4 races in the trucks and she's starting 34th, she's going to be closer to the Matt Craftons and things like that. And she's in good equipment. She's going to have the same equipment as Tanner Gray and David Gilliland or Todd Gilliland.
Todd Gilliland, yeah.
So the truck's going to be set up pretty good. They have pretty good notes here. And she's probably the best pick down here.
I wouldn't go that far.
Okay. Well, I know she's gonna get up on the wheel. The only way she's a flop is if she gets screwed and something happens to her.
Yeah, I mean,
keep going. You're good.
I definitely feel that she is a play. I hate saying that, unfortunately. But I'll be on her. I have some, and if she does finish around the 20th or even better than that, great. She paid for herself and then some.
Yeah.
I do not think she's the best play down here. I do like the gravel, which you brought up earlier in the week.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's a BMS truck. He proved himself. He finished 10th earlier this year at Michigan. I don't see how he doesn't do that again here.
Yeah. And you talk about an Aero track, too. I mean, for him to go out there and get her done like that, what a great name for a race car driver, okay? Also, just side note, write that down. Yeah, Deegan, gravel, great teams, good equipment, great starting spots, great place differential, both with huge upside. I really love both those guys, and I always like finding the cheapest person on a really good team.
Well, that's your guy.
Yeah, both of them. GMS is going to roll out a good truck for gravel, and I hope that he just goes out there and does his thing, because at 6,500 in a GMS truck is just a steal. Like you're stealing clicking that button, and I've clicked it a hell of a lot, but it really works. It really, really works. I can't do it with Jordan Anderson starting 23rd. I damn sure ain't doing it with him starting there. At 6,400, have you found yourself with any bone or roam at all? Real quick.
I have not.
Okay, thank God, because I have not either.
I can't see them putting up any points.
Well, it's hard when you have gravel and Deegan right there with way better equipment.
I really wished I could quit. I really wish I could click the AWS. But I just think you need. He's kind of a very risky play that I don't know that I'm willing to take this week.
Okay.
If he had a 2 in front of him, I'd be there.
Okay. Yeah. 18th is a tough spot.
It is.
18th is a tough spot for him.
I love me from AWS.
I did play a few just not to miss out. I did play a few. I cannot touch Norm Benning.
Won't do it.
I know what kind of equipment he's rolling in with, and for DraftKings to price him above the guys down here is just crazy to me. I don't know how Norm Benning is above all these people, but don't click Norm Benning, please.
Don't do it. Just don't do it. This
Don't
isn't
do
the
it.
week. If he was starting 40th and you were thinking there's going to be 12 cars to wreck out, give it a shot. But this ain't the week to do it.
I mean, the fact that he's priced above Tyler Hill and Spencer Boyd is just ridiculous.
Yeah, which are my two favorite picks down low, by the way.
It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
Tyler Hill and Spencer Boyd earlier this year at the doubleheader here. I mean, Hill only ran one race. His brother Timmy ran the first one, finished in top 20. Tyler came in, finished. I don't have it in front of me, but it was top 20 as well. I mean, just do that again. I just need you to do that again. Just do that same thing again.
I tell you, it's such a cool story. If any of you are on social media, you should follow them because it's really cool watching them. It's really cool watching a team like that shine, and I hope to do that one day.
Yeah,
it's really cool, and that team's really on a roll. Spencer Boyd starting 31st, absolutely dynamite.
yeah, yep.
Really, it's a team that is running the full year. It's a team that has decent enough stuff to run you in the 20s, and starting in the 30s, you got to do it.
Yep.
Yep. Our boy Balicki. I let everyone else bite on that. Don't.
Yeah, it's not his type of track.
Let's not worry about him.
Yeah, it's not his type of track. I did. All right. So I felt like I was overexposed heavily on Hill and Boyd. And I felt like I needed to find somebody else down here to let me still get a bunch of picks up top.
Mm-hmm.
And I came across Tate Fogelman.
Okay. Tell me about him.
I wouldn't go crazy. But earlier in the year, he had a 22nd finish here, and he had a 16th finish here. So if he finishes 22nd, we only get like 24 points. It's not really what we wanted. But if he can pull another 16th out of the gate here, then, I mean, he's getting us almost 40. We like that.
Yeah, and he's got to be 6% owned.
Yeah, he's going to be very low.
If that.
I'm sorry, it'd be about 35. I'm sorry.
Okay.
35.
Okay. I didn't. I like that little nugget. Write that down, everyone. The last person I took a stab on was Garrett, only because the equipment at 5,000. If we get some good wrecks up front, some of the big guys are taken out. At 5,200, I'm willing to throw a dart. I don't know what he's going to do. But just be prepared for him to, like, the first 10 laps be like 30th. But maybe by the end of the race he gets his beak wet and gets himself going. I only did it because the price when I stacked heavy up top, just to get a Nice truck down here starting 20th. But I don't know if I'd recommend that to anyone with a sane mind. But if he's in my winning lineup, I want everyone to know that they had the opportunity to click Garrett because someone else is doing it. Don't feel so left out. That's the truck slate. I will be in the.
On Garrett, just to finish with Garrett, we talked about that the other day that you were going to do that. I went back and watched the Kansas race from Xfinity that he ran earlier in the year, and he ran the 2026 car, which is not that good of equipment, and he ran top 20 all day in it. So if he could do that in not so good equipment in the Xfinity series, I don't see why he couldn't do it in pretty good equipment in the truck series. So I haven't taken any with him yet, but I am going to take a few with him just to make sure that I'm not missing out on the winnings if he does end up top 10.
Yeah.
So.
Well, before we switch over to Xfinity for the truck series, I am maxed out in the quarter jukebox. I have about 23 lineups in the 50-cent mini max, and I have a couple darts in the $8 10K to first lobby. How about you?
I maxed the 50-cent lobby. I'm probably going to put about 60 or 70 entries into the 8K line or into the $8 lineup.
Cool. You're feeling good about your lineup, so.
I am. I'm feeling pretty good about this week. I feel confident. I mean, I tell you, if Tyler Hill and Boyd finish in the top 20, then, just know that I'm doing a dance.
That's right. Well, all right. Well, flip the switch. We're going to go over to Xfinity. And I want to talk about this race for a second because we got some interesting news and notes on this race. Night race, it's going to be really cold. So it's going to be a little bit different of a track, a little bit different grip, but I still think I remember Jeff Gordon said this a long time ago in an interview, and it really stuck with me. He said, if your car is good at day, it's going to be good at night. And if your car is good at night, it's going to be good during the day because you just have a damn good car. I think it was when he was with Ray Evernham. So it's still, don't, you can take that with what you want, but the guys with the good foundations in their setups and have been doing here are going to be good again. And if they're a little off in the beginning for adjustments that they're making for the cold weather, give them a stage, give them the competition caution, and I'm sure they'll get it right. So I just wanted to give the PSA on that. But it's going to be a hell of a race. These guys are getting down to it in the playoffs, and things are getting dicey and slicey. And that race at the Roval in the rain was really, really cool. I know you guys had a good time at the race. And after reading your article, it made me feel really good because I made a handful of lineups before I read your article. And then I read the Briscoe bounce back. And I was just like, yes, because I got Briscoe in damn near everything. And I know he treated you really well the other week. So Briscoe leads us off top of the totem pole at 11.5. And damn right he should. Him and Cindric should definitely be the most expensive people on this slate, but he's not. Probably his starting position, but I can't blame him. So Briscoe, name of the article, Briscoe bounce back. So lay it out for us.
Yeah, I mean, Briscoe's just absolutely insane when it comes to these tracks, and really any track for that matter this year. I mean, come on, 8 wins this year. Should have had 9. I mean, fuck, could have had 10. I mean, This dude, he's been lights out. I'm really upset about what happened last week because I had him in almost every lineup, and he spun out coming across the river on the last lap, and it really destroyed me and all my lineups. But I'm going right back to him. I hope he burned a lot of people and they don't go back to him. But he's won at Vegas.
Hard not to.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he's won at Vegas. He ran really well here. If Cindric isn't as dominant as he was earlier in the year, which I don't think he will be, then I think Briscoe's your man. And I think after what happened last week, he's going to come out guns blazing and he's going to lead a bunch this race. Yeah. If it's not him, the next pick is Cindric. I mean, it's one of those two is going to be your win.
Yeah, and here's the deal too, is the thing about Cindric that scares the shit out of me is the last night race, 1.5 miles, boy, he spanked their asses. That car looked damn good, and no one could touch him, and he was leading by like 10 seconds at the end of the race. I wouldn't let the starting spot scare you on Cindric, because he's damn good too. Both those guys are really, really good, and they're always up there. The only way that they're not is if they wreck or have a mechanical failure. It's the only way that they're not up there.
I do have a few Allgaiers. I don't recommend picking him. There's no real reason why to take him other than just to make sure you're covered. I have a few paired with Cindric and a few paired with Briscoe. Other than that, I would stay away.
Yeah. I haven't gotten there with Allgaier. Cindric and Briscoe have the dominator factor and the super upside no matter where they're starting, and they can just go out there and just dominate a race. And they've proven that if you're going to stack two guys up top. I know Justin Allgaier is a Midwest guy and whatever. I've read a couple of other people like, spare me the details. I'd rather win money with Cindric and Briscoe.
Yep. Which brings us to the next person on the list, and I am very excited about this one.
Are you?
I am. Obviously, we know I'm a Ross truther. He's my boy.
As
it's always going to be. Yeah, it's always going to be a hard pick for me, but this week it is definitely a pick, whether you like him or not, or have any sort of connection to him or not. He has won here before in the trucks. He runs well here. He ran here well earlier this year in Xfinity. He led laps. He had fastest laps. He ran with Cindric for a while. Um, at 10-6, he's very overpriced in my opinion, which is great because that means nobody else is going to click him, and I'm going to be there.
Yeah. Well, especially with Chalky McChalkerson right under him.
Yeah, and everyone's going to go Harrison.
Yeah, I'm okay with Ross. Colleague Racing, mile and a half. They're either flat out fast or they're a little off, and I'm willing to take the flat out fast side of that. Definitely going to be the lowest owned out of the top 4 elite guys there on pricing, elite pricing. And especially with Harrison.
I think he's the lowest owned in the top 8 people. 9.
Probably starting 4th. The upside about Chastain is he can get out there and lead laps, and he's damn hard to pass. And he's trying to prove something, and to move up and to secure his spot in NASCAR. And you got to love guys with chips on their shoulders. And Harrison Burton starting 18th, double-digit owned, highly owned play this week. Harrison Burton and Joe Gibbs Equipment starting 18th. You almost feel like you have to. I definitely have lineups with Briscoe and him in them. Don't fool yourself. I did a bunch of Briscoe and Burtons just to do it. But that doesn't leave you with much. And that also skips you Chastain. And that also skips you Cindric. Guys who can get up there and lead you laps. Harrison Burton, I'm probably 15-20% right now in my builds with Harrison Burton.
Yeah, I mean, it probably should be a little more than that because I bet he's going to be 30 to 40% owned.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, he can run top 5 all day long here. He proved that earlier this year. He actually was another car that ran with Cindric on some of the runs. Looked really good, almost passed him, may have actually passed him and led a couple laps. But it is the chalk. Just know that you're not going to gain any leverage there. Everyone's going to have him. If you think he's going to be in the final lineup, put him in. I almost would rather skip over him in a perfect world and go down to Pasta.
Yeah, of course.
But
Chalky McChalkerson, number 2.
But he's going to be right. But he's going to be just as heavily owned, if not more. And so,
yeah. Now, if they both run the race and have no issues, they will more than likely be in the winning lineups.
I don't know together, though. Can you put them in a lineup together and make it work? It's hard.
It is hard. It is hard because if you just click them and try to build something balanced, you don't have a dominator in there.
Right.
So that's kind of tough. If you just click them alone, Anthony Alfredo and Harrison Burton, you're right at 7,500. If you grab Briscoe, like I've done in a few, it leaves you 62, 67. So you're having to scrape a little bit, and we'll get to the guys down there shortly. But if you go Alfredo, Briscoe, Burton, 6,200 and some change left over for 3 guys. But those are 3 guys right there that you're going to get huge place differential on, and you're going to get a dominator in Briscoe. So I don't mind building lineups like that at all. But a lot of other people are going to build lineups like that too. So if you have one of those guys out, you're going to gain a lot on some guys. Mr. Gregson is the first one underneath the 10,000 level, starting on the pole. The guy has more poles than a stripper, and he can definitely go out. He can definitely go out there and lead a handful of that first stage. The question is, does he beat Cindric? Does Cindric kind of fight with him? Does Briscoe jump on up there really quick? I'm willing to take my chances on Briscoe and Cindric getting up there and passing him. I have some Noah Gragson. I don't have a lot, but I'm not going to miss out on him if he goes out there and does his damn thing. So,
yeah, I agree. I think Cindric and Briscoe will definitely be the cars to beat. And I think they could easily pass him, especially Cindric, fairly quickly. But I also thought the same thing last week at the Roval, and he led like the first 30 laps, but that was also due to rain and not being able to see very well. So, um, I mean, he was really hurting us last week until Herbst was our absolute hero, which was the greatest thing I've seen all year long.
It really was. And
When I listen, I saw it in person because I was like, come on, get him, get him, get him, and then I saw him just drive right through him, and I was like, yes, I
yeah,
love
it was
you.
glorious.
Like,
It was
oh
glorious.
man, oh, and all my bubbles just right to the right. It was so great. It was so great.
It was, and he was hurting us big time.
Yeah,
And I was feeling the pain. Now, keep in mind, you more than likely will have to dive down to the bottom anyway to grab people the way pricing is, because we just hit Haley, Alfredo, Jones, and Herbst, all guys who have been in the 8s and 7s over the past handful of weeks, and they are just so top heavy this week on the pricing because we have in the 9K range Gregson, Haley, Alfredo, Jones, Herbst is your 9K range here. And I tell you, um, Brennan Jones has proven he can do it here.
oh yeah,
And I really love him and Alfredo. I think Brennan Jones is just like up above where Chastain's starting fourth. Here's a guy who's going to be overlooked and a guy who can go out there and win the race.
yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
He definitely drove his balls off the last restart earlier this year, and one of the races or in the race was able to take the win, sneak it away, or steal it away. But yeah, I'm there. I hope nobody else is. Um, yeah, I love the Pasta Jones stack.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, I really hope to get at Anthony Alfredo like around 30% owned would be great, but I have a feeling it's going to be closer to 50, which is going to really suck.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We hope then Brandon Jones, would be around a 15% or lower would be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, it would.
Um,
It would.
uh,
His price makes him super juicy though. Um, so he might tilt a little higher than that, but and stats. And if people just look at what have you done for me lately, I think they should be clicking Jones. If you're willing to go Chastain, you definitely should be willing to go Brandon Jones. Um, so if you gun to your head, you have to choose one, Burton or Alfredo. Who are you going?
Pasta.
Okay. You're willing to eat that chalk over Burton.
Yeah, because I think saving the $700 and getting the 7-position place differential, they could easily run top 5, both of them.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. Yeah. Alfredo and RCR equipment. He's proven he can do it. He's been fast that other mile and a half that he's ran this year for sure.
I mean, here you go. Here you go. Perfect. Now they don't have the same amount of races. Obviously, Alfredo has like half the amount of races, but
Yeah.
Burton's average points is 35, and Alfredo's is 34.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Harrison Burton has won before and is a proven winner, and
oh
we've
yeah.
yet to see Pasta win. So there is that. Little more experience, but Pasta can definitely do it. We love Jones. I have not clicked any Herbst yet this week.
I have a few, and the only reason why I have a few is because one of these days he is going to finish in the top 5, and I want to be there. I want to be there for him. So
Yeah.
I have a few. Gary Woodland of the Racing World himself is right below him, and he is very overpriced and going to finish 9th to 11th. So I have 0 in that.
Well, this is where when I was reviewing pricing and once everything came out, this is where I noticed how messed up and how top heavy the pricing was this week. Is when I saw Michael Annette's pricing.
Yeah, he should be 8,200 or 8,300 like he always is.
He's gonna finish 8th. Just know that. I'm calling it right now. I love Michael Annette, and he tilts me every week.
Are you
And
are you ready for this? Listen to this.
yeah,
It has passed like 12 races. 9th, 2nd, 7th, 31st. Are you ready? 7th, 7th, 8th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th.
and did I just say seventh or eighth?
8th.
He's gonna finish eighth. I'm calling it right now. If
The dude's a top 10 machine, but he just ain't gonna get you points.
out of a net, Hamrick or Sieg, you play a net.
Yes.
In my mind, but so
It's unfortunate Sieg is starting 8th because I had him in my notes. He finished 3rd and like 4th here, 3rd and 5th here, and did great at Vegas. So I really wanted to take him if he had any sort of teen or worse starting spot in front of him, but at 8th, I can't do it. There's no points there.
Hamrick is that team still running. I think I mentioned this last week for the team championship, not the driver championship. So they are a very strong team. He's in a good car. He ran really well last week. Shockingly well at the Roval in my mind. I definitely overlooked him last week. He's not going to give you, the only way he gets there for you if he gets up there and lead laps, and I don't think he's going to pass Briscoe or Cinder. That's just where I'm at. So I think Brennan Jones can pass him. I think Haley can pass him. I think Harrison Burton will get up there and pass him. I think Chastain will pass him, and I think Briscoe passes him. So right there is like 6-7 spots that I don't think he's going to hold up. Pretty good value for a junior motorsports car, but I'd rather have a net. So
yeah, or Timmy Hill.
Yeah, or Timmy Hill starting 31st. God bless America. He's definitely going to finish 23rd, 24th.
Yeah, like in my write-up, I mentioned, though, that he's not in the same car he was here earlier this year.
Oh, he's not?
He ran the 61 earlier this year, which is the best car in their stable, the MBS stable.
Okay.
Or Motorsports Business.
The one that Austin Hill's running.
MBM, yes.
Okay.
And we'll get there. So he's running the 13 car, which, to my knowledge, is the worst car in their stable. But Fincham ran it at Vegas, I believe, and finished in the 20s. So if Fincham can do it, I think Timmy Hill could do it. He's very overpriced, like significantly overpriced.
Yeah.
So I doubt anyone goes there. And I'll go there hoping he gets like an 18th or something stupid, and I'm the difference one. So
yeah, single entry. I wouldn't do it. If you're doing a double up, I would do it. I think it could be a smart play for you. I definitely have some. I'm probably 10, 15 where I'm at, just because of I've been burned by Timmy Hill before, and he's been himself. Take everything out of everything else out of it, equipment, everything. Him himself, he is driving very well.
Yeah.
So I know he's going to be there at the end too. Jeremy Clements, I have 0 of. So starting 13th. If he beats us this week, I'm happy with it. God bless Jeremy Clements.
Fine. He'd have to finish 7th to even do anything, and I don't think it's going to happen.
And the real reason I haven't got there with him is because this little duo right here, just like Fratelli and Hadwin, I really liked how those two lined up together. I did a Hill Moffatt. And here's my reasoning behind it is they're both running Friday. They're both running the race right before it. That's number one. Number two is Brett Moffatt and that O2 team has proven that they can get her done. Austin Hill in that 61 car, you just said he's the best car in that fleet out of all of them. And Austin Hill's really, really good.
At this track, at these type of tracks.
Yeah, at these type of tracks, he's just got a feel. He's got the knack. He's got the sight line. He knows what he needs.
He can float it.
And they're both going to finish top 20. So it was a no-brainer for me just auto clicking them, especially with Briscoe leaving you $7,700. I did Briscoe Moffatt Hill, and then I dove down, grabbed one, and came back up a little bit and got the best I could. And I like those lineups a lot.
Right. Yep.
So that's where I'm at with them.
I do too.
Same
I like
thoughts?
that you're there in that. Yeah. Moffatt was running top 10 here earlier this year before the car broke. So you do that again, and we're all going to be happy. Yeah, Austin Hill. Like I said, I think Timmy Hill finished like 23rd or 22nd or 21st with that car earlier this year here. I think Austin Hill is probably a bit better on the driver skill side than Timmy. And he's got a notebook already, Austin does from earlier this year. So I like Austin Hill as well. Now, those two are also going to be very chalky and very highly owned. So
yeah,
those will not be any leverage plays.
No.
But the next person that we're going to get to is one of the biggest leverage plays that you could take of the week.
Yeah.
And that's Mr. Brandon motherfucking Brown.
Yeah. And I don't even have a problem with Myatt Snyder. I think Ryan Vargas is going to finish 25th. So I'd stay away from him. Brandon Brown.
Remember, Snyder's got a 93 car, not the 21.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It just out of these guys, though, you're absolutely correct. Brandon Brown for sure. I really hope if he runs top 10, let's just say that us at We Live Fantasy will be very, very happy because I've found myself at $7,100 gravitating towards this heavily. He pulls it out week in and week out. He's overreaching what that team and what everyone has, and he's doing really, really damn good. And him starting 16th is going to deflect a lot of people, and they're going to be going with the Hills and the Moffats and maybe even Snyder and leaving Brandon Brown because they just don't like that starting spot and they see it as a mute point. I see it as a low-owned upside play. For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Earlier this year, he finished 11th there at tracks similar to this. This year, he's got a 13th, 11th, 12th, 15th, and 10th.
Yeah, so get us a 10th double B, and we will be very happy.
And we love it. And we'll love
be very happy. I am not touching LeBay at 10th. I threw a couple darts at Josh Williams.
I did as well.
23rd. Tommy Joe is right at that cusp of me loving Tommy Joe, and I can't do it with Tommy Joe.
I think I have 2 or 3 because he ended up being the top person I could get, so I just did it to do it.
Yeah, Vinny Miller gets a little bit interesting starting 28th, but really I know Little burned us last week, but I'm okay going back to Little. I definitely like Little over McLeod, Graff, and Miller. That's just me personally.
Yep.
I don't know if you would rank that the same way. Bailey Curry.
Must play.
I read your article, and now it's like a lock for me. But lay it out for us here.
Yeah, I mean, just this year on these type of layouts, he's got low 20s or high teen finishes. I mean, you go back and you look at it, and he's got a 22nd, a 25th, a 20th, a 23rd at Kansas earlier this year. A 25th, where was that at? On September 26th, where was that? That's also a 300. Damn it. I can't remember where that's at. Anyways, if you average all those out, I mean, he's getting you a 22nd, 23rd, somewhere in that area. And starting 32nd at 5,700 with nobody else down here that can get you over 30 points, I'm in all day.
Yeah. You got a 22nd at the Shady Rays 250. Real quick. But yeah. So I think so too. And I think the only way people are going to know that is if they're diving in. They're not just going to auto-click Bailey Curry, I don't think.
Right. Jesse Iwuji, he shouldn't be an announcer. He shouldn't be a racer. I'm sorry. You're terrible at everything you do. Just go away. I'm sorry.
Um, I don't mind him. I don't mind him as much as some of the other shills on the broadcasting network. Um,
It's bad. It's bad.
I
Even Michael Waltrip, dude. Like if they start having a
Oh, could
conversation
you
on
hear me?
TV, I have to.
My mic was up. Could you hear
Oh
me?
yeah.
Okay.
If him and Michael Waltrip start talking, like I have to mute the TV.
Um, hey, you know what though? I give him props getting out there and racing, and he's won on lower levels too. I give him props, but prove me wrong. Go out there and finish 25th again, and I will start you. David Starr starting 21st. There's no way. I don't know if that's a starting park car. I don't know what the hell. I'm not doing it. He's not finishing better than 21st.
Nope.
Josh Rayum, I haven't touched. I did have a few Dexter Beans just because Dexter Bean has a soft place in my heart. And at 5,100, starting 34th, I figured if some of these guys blow up or start in park or get the hell out of the way, I'll have a few points there at 5,100. And especially when you look at Vanderwall, Mills, Earnhardt, and their starting spots, yikes. You're talking about Alfredo and Burton and Austin Hill, Brett Moffatt, all these guys passing those guys pretty damn quickly, which is like what I see with Vargas starting 17th. I see guys right behind him passing him right off the start. I think Earnhardt's going to get passed a lot. I think Mills is probably going to be like 32nd by like lap 20.
Actually, so if Earnhardt was starting in the 20s, even the low 20s, I would take a few of him. But he's starting where he could best finish. Like he's not going to finish any better than that.
Yeah.
I thought maybe I had him at like 15th to 16th, and actually earlier this year he finished, I think 15th or 16th. He finished 17th. I'm sorry. He started 13th, finished 17th. So if he does that again, you're only getting 23 points. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Can't try it. Can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, quite honestly, I'd rather have Stephen Light than any of those guys.
I don't know why you're doing that to yourself, dude. Do you see his results?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And here's the only reason is because I can get some sick, nasty stuff up top. And if I can lose to Natalie Decker in a lobby, someone else can lose to me playing Stephen Light starting 33rd.
I mean, it's your money, dude.
That's right. That's right. And that's
decisions
like that is why we play the low stakes life here on my side of things. Speaking of low stakes life, with all that information that you've received there, Tyler, if you were to put a core four core plays to the trucks and the Xfinity, you know, who's locked in here for you in Xfinity? Let's do core three. Keep it simple.
All right. Yeah, core three in Xfinity is Pasta, Anthony Alfredo, Little, and Curry, because it just lets you go all over the board then.
Pasta, Curry, and who is the third?
Little.
Okay. Ooh. All right, so core plays for Xfinity is Alfredo, Curry, Little, leaves you $9,600. An example of a lineup there would just go up there and grab your Dominator of Briscoe, leaves you $8,600.
And then you could have fun.
Let's go low-owned play Brandon Brown, and then we can get up there and grab Harrison Burton. So that lineup is actually awesome. You have Anthony Alfredo, huge place points differential. You have Chase Briscoe, a dominator of the race. You have Brandon Brown, your low-owned leverage play. Sorry about that. It's like I have Novocaine in my mouth. And then you have Harrison Burton, huge place differential points. Bailey Curry, guy who can get us in the mid-20s and score us some points, low end, and Jesse Little, who's going to make it up to us this week.
That's right.
And he's gonna do it for us. I am submitting that because that's awesome. That's a great lineup. And I think that can.
I'll see you at the top, my friend. We will tie.
That can definitely be a winner. For Xfinity, I'm in quarter jukebox, 50 cent, and a couple darts in the big lobby. I didn't like the $1 lobbies this week in trucks and Xfinity. They're only total prize pools of $2,500. So I'd rather load up on 50 cents and try to have as many darts as I can into getting that. And then I'm loading some of my favorite lineups into the big lobby, like that one right there. But listen, it's ultimately up to you. We are just trying to give you all the knowledge and all the tools. We have some really cool tools coming up and in the pipeline and in the works. That'll really help you get dialed in for trucks, Xfinity, and Cup, just like we do every week with our notes and watching races and things like that. So excited for that coming up. And core plays trucks. Let's knock that out real quick.
I got Spencer Boyd, Tyler Hill, and Parker Kligerman.
Ooh, okay, let's do that. Spencer Boyd. Wow, that's some place differential right there.
Boyd. Yeah, baby.
Tyler Hill.
Tyler Hill.
Okay, so we have Tyler Hill, Parker Kligerman, Spencer Boyd. Wow. Okay, so you got Kligerman, huge place differential upside. Tyler Hill, going to get us plus 8 points. I would project him for 20 for
32 points.
Yeah,
35 points.
Yeah, I would project him right there. That's good. And then Spencer Boyd's going to get us the same thing. And both those guys under $6,000. And then we have Kligerman, who's going to get us the top 10. So right there with those three guys, you're getting huge place differential, which leaves you with $9,100. I'm going to keep going with the place differential here, and I'm going to click Deegan to get us 4 drivers with huge upside for place differential. Puts us at 10,100. I'm going to go, let's see what this does. Oh, wow. Okay. So listen, let's try to maximize a truck entry here. So right now with Boyd, Deegan, Hill, and Kligerman, the highest guy starting wise is Tyler Hill. So 10,100 left. I'm going to go Gilliland. Starting 17th, huge upside as well. And that gets us Austin Hill, arguably one of the best mile-and-a-half truckers out there. That lineup right there has huge upside. I know it's not as balanced as you might like, but huge upside there. And that's just getting frisky and just kind of messing around there. But I like those core plays, huge place differential, and you can go any way you want. With your lineups.
All over the board. Yeah, you can go all over the board.
But that one's huge. If all of those drivers get into 25th or better, that lineup's going to be cashing really well. And then if you have Austin Hill up there leading laps, I mean, sky's the limit for a lineup like that. Especially if some high-owned plays kind of get wrecked out or get damaged. I like that lineup a lot. The biggest pivot I would make there would be Todd Gilliland.
Yeah.
Because you can go Zane Smith and Sheldon Creed real easily in that lineup.
I'm trying to find, I think it's Sheldon Creed, just as it is Ross Chastain in Xfinity. I think Sheldon Creed's the lowest owned play up top, and then probably Grant Enfinger. And I think Sheldon Creed has a higher upside to lead laps, so I like Sheldon Creed a little more. But those two are the ones that stand out up there for me if you want to get some leverage up top.
Yeah.
Otherwise, your leverage is going to fall somewhere. I think somewhere from Truex to Crafton.
Okay. Well, hear this one out. You have Boyd, Hill, and Kligerman, our core plays, and then I went Creed, Zane Smith, Deegan.
Yeah, I have that one too. So I'll see at the top.
So I mean, that seems the only pivot there is maybe gravel.
Yeah, you could drop down and grab gravel, and then you could get a little higher up in your picks.
Yeah, so that's another option there too. So, but I like that one a lot. I like that. I like it a lot. So yeah. So that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like it. Please let us know who you're playing this week. Um, Comment down below. Check us out on social media and welivefantasy.com. Some good stuff. We're always sharing our articles on there and updating articles all the time. Tyler's working really hard on some Sunday Showdown lobbies. Really liking what you're bringing to the Showdown slates. You really crushing it there, which is really cool. And you're
Yeah,
you're even crushing it in golf showdown. So you're the showdown guy. WeLiveFantasy.com, and you're doing really good, man. And we're doing pretty good in golf too. So
yeah, I'm excited for this weekend in golf. I'm excited for this weekend's races.
yeah, the field's really tight in golf, so you can make some big changes really quick, which is exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting. Yeah, we'll see how it goes, man. Like I said, I'm excited for this weekend. I think there's money to be made, especially in football. I'm finding a few things in my research. So look for us tomorrow, or look for my article tomorrow to be on the website. We Live Fantasy. It'll be a breakdown of all the showdown slates on Sunday. Also check for obviously Mondays as well, and then we'll be in the next week where we'll get back to our videos. So
Yeah,
follow us, like our shit, subscribe. We got some good things in the near future.
yeah,
In the near future, big things on the horizon.
that's right. That's right. Good stuff. Good
That's right.
stuff. All good stuff. All
Right.
gonna help us crush even harder. So thank you
Let's throw.
everyone for watching. If you have any questions about lineup builds or anything, if you're torn between a few people, just shoot us a message. We'll answer you. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Hope you guys have a good night. Peace out and good luck.